Hello, and welcome to Smiling in the Dark, the podcast where we, your resident smilers, stay up late, unlock the front door, turn off the lights, and smile our way through the horrors. One topic, one theme, one sleepless night at a time. I'm Adam.
I'm Ross.
We've just completed our opening season where we talked through some of our favourite horrors that launched some brilliant subgenres. And we're going to take a little bit of a break from that kind of theme and spend a couple of episodes talking about new Apple TV series, Widow's Bay. So, Ross, firstly, welcome back. Hope you had a good holiday.
Thank you very much. I did, thank you.
Excellent. And you, am I right in thinking, did you try and sneak in all the Widow's Bay viewing before you went, and then did you end up watching some again just after you got back?
I just watched, so we did the first 5 episodes, and I've just watched them all before I left, which would have been, well, we were away for 10 days, so yeah, I watched them just after we wrapped up our Hereditary episode, and then, yeah, I read about them again today to remind myself, because we just got back yesterday.
Yeah. So it's probably about, I had it in my mind about a week ago I was going to start and I was going to watch 1 or 2 episodes. And then in that one day, I ended up watching all 5 of the episodes because it kind of grabbed me. So a little bit of chat just about, Widow's Bay, what it is, and then we'll go through the episodes, the first half that we covered. So Widow's Bay is just, I think, a few months landed on Apple TV. It is a sort of comedy, horror, mystery. There's a lot going on in here to try and put one label on it. Yeah,
I would totally agree with that. I read that the main writer was a writer on Parks and Rec, and I would say it's a bit like Parks and Rec with the comedy dialed darker and a bit more sort of horror themes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've got 10 episodes that we're going to cover. We'll talk through the first 5 today. And there's overarching stories, but then per episode, there's kind of one theme, one central thing that's going on, which it sort of takes me back to some shows I've loved over the years. There's a bit of a feel of we've talked a couple of times about Erie, Indiana in the past.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely a bit of that going on. And I think we've both loved sort of an anthology series in the past, especially those that have got a little bit of a dark twist going on. It felt, it just gave sort of that anthology feel, but also there's Stephen King vibes in here. I feel like setting, tone, there's a lot of that feels quite Stephen King to me.
Yep. Yeah. There's Jaws in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's Jaws in there. And then what's the David Lynch TV show?
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. There's a bit of Twin Peaks in there as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'll give the synopsis. It is very, very brief, but I think it kind of had to be, because otherwise you would wonder where you would stop with this. A skeptical mayor leads the superstitious residents of a cursed New England island.
Nice.
That's all we're getting in a synopsis.
When you watched it, were you getting the little almost like taglines for each episode, and it's they're almost from the point of view of the island's like PR.
Yes.
They're brilliant.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Yeah, it's I wasn't sure what I would think of this, but this just drew me in instantly. Like the stories, but also kind of the way it's made and the way it presents itself to you. Yeah, excellent. Love this. So I'll move into episode 1, and that's where we'll kind of figure out where we are, who some of our key characters are going to be.
Cool.
So we're going to start. We've got a fisherman or a sailor out on a boat, big body of water. He's having some like chit chat on his his communications device with someone who's on the land, and he's basically talking about like marital problems and things like that. His wife's gone away. He's like, she'll come back. It's fine, no problem. And then his communications cut, and it seems like there's something peculiar going on, but they're not going to show you very much at all in terms of you actually seeing anything. You're more seeing his reaction to what's going on and thinking, this is a bit strange. We are going to start meeting some of the characters. There's basically there's a power outage across the island, so we know we're on an island, and we're going to be introduced to Mayor Tom, who this threw me a wee bit. It becomes clearer as we go. I'd kind of thought, we've got somebody here who's an outsider, and he's trying to get this island to sort of move with the times a wee bit. But it turns out, we find out later, Tom is actually, he's not an outsider. He's lived on the island previously. Yep. Tom is there living with his son, and the wife and mother of the child has passed away. Little bit of a strained relationship becoming obvious. It's sort of Mayor Tom's son seems to be a wee bit of a tearaway. That seems to be his thing. Probably not a great look when you're mayor, but so be it. And the sort of the main story, I won't say theme because I think that's wrongly interpreting this. The story of episode 1 is that Mayor Tom has managed to talk a New York Times travel writer into visiting the island in the hope of increasing the amount of tourism that they're going to start seeing on the island. So we're introduced to the reporter, and Mayor Tom doesn't really want any focus on the unfortunate history of some of the events that have taken place on the island.
I really liked that part of the whole story that was going through the episode, that he's basically like tearing about the island, trying to make sure he's not speaking to anyone apart from him. The reporter's not speaking to anyone apart from him. And then eventually the reporter's like, see what's going on here. You want to be like the next Salem or something like that.
It is cleverly done, and what does become clear to us as the audience, as we're seeing all these characters that the mayor is trying to keep him away from, is that basically everyone on this island believes that the island has a problem, like it's cursed. And Mayor Tom, I think you're left to initially think is just the out and out skeptic. However, holes do start appearing in that quite quickly. There's a guy sort of bursts. It's your classic sort of horror trope. The guy who is predicting doom is about to come, and he appears on the scene saying that this sailor has gone missing. We have to close the port, close the businesses, basically shut the island down because the fog took that man. And we're like, oh, the fog. Okay. The mayor is putting out there that he's not buying any of this. This is nonsense. However, it does become clear as the mayor is out with the reporter for a meal, and the mayor can see the fog incoming, that he has fear of the fog as well, and he's desperately trying to stop the reporter from going outside. He's then desperately trying to stop anyone from going outside while the fog's there. He's having a whole moment. He's having a bit of a freak out about this.
Do you know what I liked about this? I think at first I didn't really know what to expect. I think I maybe expected a little bit more horror, a little bit more scares. I did not expect just how funny it was likely to be. But I also thought that this the reporter business might go on for, I thought it might be the season that this reporter's here. I like that basically the first episode just sort of gets it out the way, the reporter's been, and as a result, what's he talking about, becoming like the next Martha's Vineyard? I like that they got it out the way, but that's just the story of the first episode and not the whole season.
We're going to get introduced to Wick, who is the sort of Prophet of Doom within this. So Wick, played by Stephen Root. And he is your ultimate, I know everything about the history of the island. The fog is a disaster for us waiting to happen. It's definitely taken that fisherman. And this is where we find out that Shep, who I think was the sailor, the name of the sailor that went missing, he has reappeared. He is not in a good way. He's in the hospital bed. Is this maybe our closest first moment to horror, I think, actually, that we're coming up to, where Mayor Tom is speaking to Shep as he's in his bed. And he looks like he's unconscious, unable to communicate. We hear about reports coming back saying that there was no alcohol in the system, which seemed to be a big surprise to everyone. And then he seems to come to, however, doesn't come to. His eyes roll back in his head, and he attacks what looks like he's trying to attack the mayor while trying to tell him something, and then starts trying to strangle the mayor. And then Shep dies. We didn't hear what he was trying to say to the mayor, but the mayor heard it.
Right, okay. Poor Shep, we hardly knew him.
Yeah. It was quite, I don't know, because I think it had lured me into a bit of a sense of this isn't going to be horror when he suddenly came to and went on the attack. I was like, oh yeah, here we are.
So is it after this that the mayor's a bit like, oh no, and he starts to almost become like really, really paranoid, and overwhelmed a bit with he's terrified now, and telling people to stay out the fog and all that.
He is, yeah. The writer, as we mentioned, he loves the island, but he does think that there's a wee bit of a sort of trick being tried to play on him so that he'll lean into or play into the curse of the island. But actually, as you talked about, it was the exact opposite. That was the mayor's intention. We do get the power coming back on, the fog lifting, and we get a little bit of information about, so people on the island believe that if you were born on the island, you cannot leave. Yeah. So Tom wasn't born on the island, and he has left the island and come back, but his son was born on the island, and the belief seems to be he can't leave. Although I think Tom's playing all this off as nonsense still at this point.
At this point, yeah, but yeah, I think as the season goes on, it's clear that it certainly changes his views.
So we get to hear, who is this? This caught me off guard a wee bit because it seemed to come out of nowhere, but we're panning. I think it's in the restaurant, I think, and the camera pans us down below the ground and down and down and down. And we see what is basically a torture chair under the ground, and it's what seemed like a door opening. That just looked a bit like, don't want to end up down there. Anyway, that seems like bad things could be happening down there.
I was getting sort of barbarian vibes from that. I was a bit terrified as to what we might actually get revealed. We've never seen 5 episodes in. We've never seen that again, right?
No. It's just there. It's planted for us, and then we move away from it. And then we're going to move into episode 2, which starts quite naturally following the previous one, in that I think there's immediate chat about the review that they got in the New York Times, which is very positive from that reporter. No mention of any curse on the island, and he's leaning into the Martha's Vineyard thing, and the mayor is absolutely buzzing. He is loving this. This is exactly what he wanted.
I don't think you've mentioned is Patricia his assistant?
Yes.
She's such a good character. She's so peculiar, but also sort of like a yes man. She's the right hand man to Tom, and it's right from the start. We almost get the sense that she's maybe got a crush on him as well. Yeah. But I think I like the start of this where they're just like, say it again, and she's like, next Martha's Vineyard. Sort of
she's. We'll talk about her a bit more as we go. She's a very good character. So just as things start to be going quite positive for Mayor Tom, we are hearing that Wick is trying to board up the hotel, the inn on the island. He's saying it's haunted. He's trying to board it up from the outside. Mayor Tom is being a bit provoked and ends up saying, "Fuck you, you dumb hick," to Wick right in front of the island's population, which probably not great from a mayor point of view, but yeah, he just lost his composure for a wee minute there.
See the guy that owns the bed and breakfast or the hotel?
Yeah.
What was he in an episode of The League?
Oh, possibly.
I feel like I remember him from. So I really should have looked it up.
He did have a slightly familiar face, but yeah, I'm not sure what from. So, like, flowing the story naturally forward, you obviously want your hotel you're in to be in good shape for this good review they've just had, and hopefully about to get some tourists visiting the island. And it sounds like it's been undergoing some renovation work, and it's nearly there. It's just about ready to be open. But Wick's got the fear, and he's trying to shut all of this down.
Do you know who I think he is? Sorry. Do you know who I think he is? He's the guy that one of them's asking for pepper. Is it Ruskin's asking for pepper? And he's like, you never give away the pepper. And he ends up taking it off him. I think it's that guy.
Okay. Is that just pure memory from you here? That's impressive.
I think it's that guy.
Oh, quite a long time since I watched The League. We get some. There are comedy moments littered all through this, but I absolutely loved when the guy that runs the inn, obviously Wick's been trying to board up the door, and once he's taken away, the guy walks up and the door just opens. he's not quite got that right. He's basically boarded the door and not attached it to any of the sides.
It's so basic and simple, but the fact that the guy does not stay in the hotel is absolutely my favourite part of this episode.
Yeah. We're going to move the sort of the story of this individual episode along to Tom ending up staying for a night in the inn. So some of the islanders are sort of challenging him and goading him and saying, you know, if it's not haunted, why don't you stay there? That kind of thing. And then it really escalates, and that he ends up with a full list of things that they want him to do while he's staying in this inn. It's not just spend a night there, it's spend a night there in a specific room. It's like go down into the crawl space. There's several things on this list.
Yeah, and the type of character that he is, and he's just like, there's nothing wrong with this island. He has to do them.
Yeah.
He's so adamant.
Yeah. There is this one particular room that, like, the proprietor of the inn, he's refusing to even set foot in this room. So yeah, I mean, that's not screaming I'll stay here. That's if anything, you board up that room, you use the rest of the place, but just be done with that room, I think. We're going to get, I think it's our first introduction to the island pastor, who, without really giving us an awful lot of detail, seems to be going through some stuff. There's some stuff going on with the island pastor. It's not great. He seems basically like things are just not going well for him right now. In the hotel, there's one of these like introduction to the area video things, which is absolutely
really weird.
It's absolutely brilliant. I love this. You've sort of, if you're lucky enough, I think you may have seen one of these for real in a hotel on holiday many decades ago. But it's like, welcome to Widow's Bay. Here's all the things you can see and do. It's that kind of thing. Brilliant. Love that stuff. But there's a bit of to me, that's just unsettling, that whole video. There's something not quite right about it.
Yeah, it's the guy, and then the fact that he walks so far away. It's so odd.
Yeah.
There's little details that don't need to be there that are just amazing.
There's have you heard of a board game called Daddy's Home?
Oh God, some of the board games there. There was one. Is there one called Run?
Yes.
And one called Teeth?
Everything in this game's cupboard is sinister. Every single thing.
Daddy's Home certainly looks like an interesting game.
Yeah. Now, to his credit, like you talked about, Mayor Tom is going through this list of things that he's been asked to do by the townspeople. He is scoring them off as he does them. And there was one moment that I wasn't sure if it was intentional. I think it's in the room he's staying in. He closes the curtains. He then goes and does something else, and then he closes the curtains again. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, those were already closed, but it doesn't seem to freak him out, so that's fine. There's another, we hear a bit of a noise from another guest. So there's another guest at a room just down the hall from where Tom's staying. Now, this isn't a criticism, but I assume, were you aware immediately this is not a real guest? This is not just a regular person staying here?
A sort of assumption.
Yeah.
But he makes an amazing point. He say, like Tom's like, well, he never told me anybody else was staying here. And he's like, have you ever stayed in a hotel? And they tell you that there's all the other guests that are there.
It is a fair point.
And that did kind of make me just go, all right, okay, let's see where this goes, sort of thing.
I was sure he wasn't just, an actual person staying there, but I was just waiting to see what exactly it was going to be. And we hear about... We'd heard about somebody committing murders in the hotel in the past, and the name William had been mentioned. They have quite a nice heart-to-heart, the mayor and this other guest. Part of it about him doing his checklist of activities, and the other guy's like, he's a bit more who needs them? Don't care about these guys and stuff like that. And then Tom is going to go and do his next item on his checklist, which is the one that's going under the crawl space. So down he goes under the ground, and he hears someone approaching where he'd entered, and he's shouting because he assumes it's this must be this guy that I was just speaking to. But then you see there's sort of a panic, and this William character then charges at Tom under the crawl space wearing a clown mask. Aye. And the clown killer is what had been discussed previously by some of the residents.
Yep, he turns it to John Wayne Gacy.
He does. And when they review the CCTV from the hotel, there's no sign of any other guest there. We see Tom just basically kind of looks like he's speaking to himself and things like that. And William gets confirmed as the name of the clown killer. As the innkeeper, obviously, it's in his best interest for the inn to be open and fully functional, and he's being challenged by people to go into one of the rooms for, I think it's initially 10 seconds. So he goes in, and then they leave him 10 seconds. And when they open the door, this is a man that has been in there for a lot longer than 10 seconds. He's been going through some stuff. And the panic on his face when they tell him to stay in for 30 seconds, not good for the innkeeper. And there's definitely some weird, time bending stuff at play for him.
What's that? The Stephen King, is it Room 1408 or something like that, is it?
I think that might be it, yeah.
That's what this was reminding me of.
Yeah. That's John Cusack, is it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And on further investigation, some black mold is found in that particular suite. So it is going to be sealed up, which is maybe for the best. And I'm thinking at this point, this Wick guy, he's been right about almost everything so far. I mean, he might seem hysterical, but he tends to be right. Absolutely. So we maybe just should be doing a lot of listening to him. That was a really good, fun episode. I enjoyed the character being in the hotel, going through all the tasks and stuff like that, and just waiting, because there's no way he would have gone through this and everything to be fine. So you know that something's coming. But I thought it was well done. I enjoyed the story of that.
It really jumps from... the horror is introduced in a really good way. I think you mentioned it in the first episode with the guy with his eyes, and then with the clown here, the way it's introduced, it just goes from not even comedy, but just like watching what the mayor's doing to like, oh my god, that's actually quite terrifying. You're in an enclosed small space. It's like, yeah, it's really, really good.
Episodes 3 and 4, I think, kind of happen within the same timeline, but there's a different point of view that you're following things from.
Yeah.
So in episode 3, we're still going to be with Mayor Tom for the majority of it. There were more weird old videos, like an old mayor has a video playing at the start of episode 3, and it's like in the video, he's trying to say something and leave the room, but he can't get the door to open. And then he just like sort of stops and stands awkwardly next to the door. It's just bizarre.
It seems like they've got some sort of... You can imagine seeing this sort of place. It's like artifacts of the island and things like that, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, good stuff. So I immediately went into my mind as he just stood in the corner. That's some Blair Witch Project stuff, right?
Yes. Yep.
Now, Mayor Tom is going to encounter a tourist, a woman, and I'm thinking, my initial first thought was, is she real? Is this actually going to be real? I think he's attempting to flirt, and I'm thinking, oh no, Tom, but she seems just as flirtatious, if not more, and better at it than he was.
Definitely. He's so awkward, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very awkward. Tom references this woman when he gets to his office, and for some reason, when talking to his staff, describes her as age appropriate. Oh, Tom.
Patricia's interested as soon as he mentions a woman, isn't
he? He does. And I feel like that was definitely for Patricia's benefit that he said that, but just it's a really odd thing to say. So Mayor Tom is going to go and meet this woman at a bar, but he sees, as he's driving down the road, a creepy old woman walking down the road. He stops, asks if she's okay, and we get, again, one of our sort of horror moments as she's just going to charge towards him.
Freaky, again, barbarian-ish.
Yeah, it is a bit, yeah. He's just trying to get the hell out of there. She's really fast. She grabs his arm, and she scratches the arm, leaving him with a bit of a wound. He phones it in to the police. Mayor Tom is due to be doing, what did they call it, like a launch of the season or launch of the summer or something like that, to show that
the waters are safe.
Yes. Yep, here we are back in Jaws land. The waters are safe, so the mayor goes for a kind of ceremonial swim to prove to everyone else that the waters are going to be safe. But there's now a bit of concern that he maybe can't do the swim because of this wound that he's got. In fact, I think he is specifically told not to do the swim.
And he is adamant. The people need to know that it's safe.
Yep. A classic mayor in Jawstown. Yeah. He goes away for his swim, disobeying the doctor's orders. There's something in the water. So he gets out to where he's due to swim to, and there's something in the water. And his swim back is going to get a bit more frantic. And I'm thinking, if you're on the beach watching this, I don't know that you're thinking from the way he is panicking and swimming that these waters are safe. But it looks to be the same kind of character that he had encountered by the side of the road. So I see the logic in this. He gets another scratch, I think this time on his leg, but he manages to get away, gets to the beach. I'm pretty sure he then tries to convince everyone that everything's safe and fine. But he is going to go and speak to Wick about the lore of the hag.
Yeah, well, Wick's our man. Do you think he's called Wick because he's like the island Wikipedia?
Maybe. I know that if I saw some weird shit, he is exactly who I would go to.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. He doesn't want to believe Wick telling him all about this hag. But I mean, he went to him for help, and then he's just not liking what he's hearing. But what Wick says to him is he has to basically stay sealed up and secure until the wound heals. Otherwise, the hag will hunt him down.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mayor Tom, he's too distracted by all this, stay safe nonsense because Marissa, is that the woman's name? Marissa. Yeah. Because he's hearing that Marissa had tried to contact him, so he sets up to go and meet her. I've got it in my mind now that she is the hag. That's where my mind has gone.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. We're going to cut back to the pastor who is in the woods, and he finds something that I couldn't quite make out exactly if you're supposed to be able to make out what it was. I didn't know if it was supposed to be something that had fallen from the sky.
I don't remember what it was that he found. I can't remember.
I don't know if we were supposed to be able to tell.
Right.
And we hear a bit more backstory about Mayor Tom, his wife. I think it's as he's speaking to Marissa, actually, that he's talking about this. She had died from complications from childbirth. So obviously Tom and his son have been just the two of them for quite some time now. And Marissa seems so keen to get Mayor Tom alone. That again, I'm just thinking hag. But he has to go to this sunset cocktails thing. We'll talk more about that as we move forward.
Yeah, he did promise. I'm fairly sure he promised Patricia he would be there.
Yes,
either at the start of this episode or the previous episode.
Yes. So we get the pastor walking out of the woods, and it's just as Mayor Tom's son and his friends, I think, are there getting stoned just outside of a car, and the pastor's going to walk up and says, "There's evil in here." They seem to just they're setting off firecrackers and stuff like that. They're just being youths. Now, Mayor Tom, what he been doing?
He heads back from his date with Marissa, and
yes,
he's starting to get paranoid about his scar and all that. I think he's thinking that Marissa is the sea hag. Yes,
so he has shut himself in the house. And there's a knock at his door, and it's Marissa, and she's turned up unannounced. Tom, he's got his feelings. Something's not right here. Unfortunately for Mayor Tom, we're going to find out. It seems he got that one wrong. It seems we all got that one wrong.
Yeah.
As we see Marissa going back to a taxi, getting in it, and say it's something like, "That was humiliating," or something like that she says to the driver. So this poor woman had actually just taken a chance and then been turned away at the door.
I'm sure he told her that he wanted to be on his own or something, though. It's some interesting behaviour.
Okay, yeah, she maybe needs to just back off. Yeah, respect his wishes. Mayor Tom trying to protect himself in the house, and then he's kind of half fallen asleep, and then as he comes to, I'm thinking, are we seeing a flashback here? It was a bit of his life with his wife. When he wakes up, the hag is right in front of him. He uses it's one of these recliner chairs that has the footrest that comes up. He basically uses that. I don't think mine has this power, but to propel the hag over him and over the chair. And Wick he ends up, so Mayor Tom, is he hiding in the bath? Is that where he's gone? I think he's in the bath. And she is about to get him, but then thankfully for Mayor Tom, Wick is going to show up, shoots the hag, makes the save. Hag blood looks absolutely disgusting. It's horrendous.
Yep.
We hear a message on, I think it's two messages actually, but one of them on Mayor Tom's answer phone is from the pastor. And then we get another one that is a dispatch call about an incident at a cocktail party.
Yes. Sheriff Clemens is looking for backup, saying that chaos has ensued. So something we've not mentioned yet is that around about, what is this, episode 3? Somewhere within these episodes, we hear the town bell dinging nine times in the middle of the night.
Right at the start of this one, I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
And yeah, Tom apologises to the. What were you referring to him as a priest?
Yeah.
Apologises to him. Basically thinks it's Evan because Evan, anything mischievous going on appears to be Evan or his friends.
Does seem to be.
But we get a shot of the priest checking on the bell and it's completely tied up.
Yes.
Like it wouldn't be able to.
Yes.
It wouldn't be able to ding. So he finds something that says, if the bell chimes 9 times, that's the start of the island waking up or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's was there is evil here.
Yes.
I think.
As we start episode 4, we're going to it's a pop-up saying 4 days earlier, and that's following the dispatch call about the incident at the cocktail party. So again, we're going to be following the same timeline, but we've got Patricia. So it's feeling very bad for Patricia at the start of this. So she is going to a party being thrown by people she was friends with, was at school with, things like that. And it's clear from early on that she's maybe not welcome, and the majority of people there don't really want to interact with her. She seems a bit of a pariah, and we don't really know why at the start, what's going on there. But as she seems to be speaking to somebody in the kitchen that she hasn't met before, we're talking about a group of girls that died, and we hear about a killer called, I think they just call him the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman, brilliant.
Yeah. And Patricia had been the same age as these girls that died, and has said that she got calls and that the Boogeyman had turned up at her house, but she had hid and not been killed. And I think that story kind of matches up with the way a lot of the other girls were killed, but a lot of skepticism on, has she just made this story up for attention?
Yeah. A lot of Carrie vibes with this one.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's not out and out horror. I'm guessing, who wrote this loves a bit of horror, because there's a lot of nods in here. And we have the women all mocking Patricia. She has very low self-esteem. She's looking into some self-help stuff. And she sort of seems to focus on this line or book or something like that says, all it takes is one great party to change everything.
Yeah, a book practically throws itself at her.
Yeah.
And she starts to follow it.
Yeah. Now, Patricia, I think, obviously, this cocktail party that she is going to be throwing, seems to mean a lot to her. You can understand it. She's just looking for, friendship, acceptance, all that kind of thing. She's up to 90 about this party. Nobody's RSVPing. She's losing the plot. However, we're going to hear about this bachelorette group that are on the island that may make the save here. There's going to be a few of them coming along. I've then got in my notes. Now, I don't know what made me think this. Oh my God, this slasher killer sounds brilliant. Patricia saying she hid from him under the bed. He sounds like he has been in so many of my favourite films. I just clearly want to know a bit more about the slasher killer.
Yeah, we have to get a Boogeyman episode. We have to get a flashback or something.
Yeah. So we're at the party, and it's a bit dead. There's not that many people there, and then I'm trying to think who arrives first. We do see the bachelorette party women arriving, and we see, I think it's a group of Patricia's friends, former friends, school friends.
Sort of bitchy school colleagues,
Yeah. I feel like sympathetic anxiety through so much of this for Patricia. I felt incredibly uncomfortable watching it, but she seems to be doing well.
Oh, it's going absolutely roaring.
She gives a great toast. Everyone's, cheers in. Everyone seems happy. Now the policeman's going to arrive.
This poor sheriff, how has he ended up on this island?
So to us, everything still looks absolutely fine. Patricia's back in the like kitchen area when he comes in, and his tone does not match what we are seeing and what we've seen. He's like, basically, what the fuck are you doing? And then we see something that looks really different.
What's it she's putting together? Is it like a party favour or something?
Yeah, there's cat birds.
There's bones.
Yeah,
It's sort of almost like the sort of Blair Witch little trinket type things.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
thing that the best thing that I love, and this surely has to do with direction more than anything else. In this episode, when it looks like the party's swinging, every now and again you can see the reflection of the people in the mirror.
Yeah.
And they look like... What do they look like? I wanted to say zombies there, but I don't
Like
think
they're in a trance.
Aye.
Yeah.
But you only see it for like split seconds.
Yeah.
And it's so unnerving. And you're just like, what the hell is going on here?
Patricia's got this thing on her head, like what could I describe it as?
Like an occult type leader.
Yes.
Type thing?
Yeah. So there's some I think I've used technical terms here. There's some crazy ritualistic shit going on here.
There you go. Yep. She was making punch is what she was doing.
Yes.
But it was like made with like animal parts and stuff.
Yeah. So now everyone who was at the party is walking towards this body of water next to a roaring bonfire that's on the go. And they're just walking in still in this trance. We've got Patricia tries to... I think we see that the book is something different to what we'd originally seen it as.
Evil Dead type thing.
Yeah, crazy stuff going on in this book. So she is going to try and throw it into the bonfire, but she can't let go of it. It's like it won't let her, or she won't let herself let go of the book, and she has to basically hold her hand in there to start it burning. So that she can release it, to try to break this curse or whatever it is that's going on for all these people. Everyone who is walking into the water then just kind of stops and they sort of come to, and they're all, as they get their bearings a wee bit, they're accusing Patricia of drugging them. It's a fair complaint. I mean,
it is. You just feel so sad for her.
I do. I feel really bad for her. But yeah, she's had a tough time, and she's maybe not reacted the best way to what's been going on there. But then Patricia's going to be picked up by Mayor Tom and Wick, and they are going to the pastor's house, with Tom having heard the pastor's message, and by the time they get into his house, they find him hanging dead.
Dark.
Yeah.
We've went from absurd to dark very quickly.
I was immediately thinking, that's fine, but is Patricia just walking away from this?
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. Given that she appears to occupy some sort of government official employment status, now she's just going to be...
Yeah. I mean, I suppose there's more shit going on to deal with. We'll it is referenced quite early on in episode 5. So as we start episode 5, I've got... Who is this hairy fella out in the cold eating wild mushrooms? So I think it's... Everything's a bit frozen. We see a figure just looking for something, crawling along and then finding these mushrooms and eating them. And I think that's just a little snippet before the episode kicks in.
Yeah.
Mayor Tom has put a curfew in place on the island, and Tom, Wick, and Patricia are going through the pastor's office. They find a lot of things that look to have been burned and some old messages. There was a number left by the pastor that they call, and they make an appointment awkwardly because they have no idea what this number is or who it is, but they make an appointment to see this person. And we are going to go with them, and it's a shaman that they have the appointment with. Shaman.
It's a self-identifying shaman.
Yeah. And he confirms that what they found in the pastor's office was a potent mushroom.
And that's what we're to assume the guy at the start was looking for and eating, right?
Wick is talking about, I think they're talking about Wick trying the mushrooms. The shaman has accidentally drugged Mayor Tom instead of Wick. Put something in his drink. It was a little mistake. It's going to last 12 hours.
The guy that plays this shaman, what's his name? Todd? Is it Todd? Yeah, Todd. He steals this episode, and he's only in it for about...
He's really
lucky
good.
if he's in it for about 2 minutes. Yeah. I love that he's just like, hey, Patricia, and he's just like, they used to go to school together. Yeah. He's acting also secretive and all that sort of stuff, and then he dips as soon as he realises that he's given Tom it by mistake. Basically locks him in a padded room, and he's like, right, mate, see you later.
So he's a brilliant character, as you say, only in it for a few minutes. And he's mixed up Tom and Wick, and he actually continues to do that after he's drugged him.
Yeah.
So the rest of this episode is basically going to be us with Mayor Tom as he is tripping. We pick up with Tom's son. What did you say his name was? Evan?
Ethan or Evan.
Ethan, right. He and his pals have gone to what was the house of the boogeyman.
That's right, yeah.
What a place to go and get stoned.
Evan.
The police chief is there talking to the mayor, pissed off about the curfew, but Mayor Tom is way too out of it to process what's being said. Obviously, the police chief's going to have to try and enforce this curfew, which isn't easy with guys like Evan around. Mayor Tom, I think the gap between them saying he wasn't to be left on his own, Patricia would stay with him, and Patricia leaving, the gap was about 10 seconds because Patricia has to go and speak to the police chief about what went down at this cocktail party. Brilliant. So at least we're not just letting it lie. She's got to give a statement here.
Do you know what I love about a lot of this to do with Mayor Tom is that we've both seen episodes of things before and things in films where people get spiked and it's played for laughs and all that sort of stuff. Never seen it done where it's portrayed almost like him just waking up places and there's things happening.
Yeah.
I really, really like that.
Yeah, it's very well done. Yeah, because I mean, not that I ever have myself, but I imagine that's probably quite true reflection, where you just wake up in the middle of a moment and think, oh, how did I get here and what did I miss? So Wick goes to get some help with reading a writing that was found at the pastor's house. It's a very dark, foreboding writing. All the while, the I'm just referring to them as stoner kids are daring each other to go to the door of the boogeyman's house, and of course it's Evan who's actually walking up. He's being egged on. He's trying to impress the girl. All of that, and we get again one of these wake up moments from Mayor Tom. He is in the back of is it a cab?
Heading back to his house?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the woman, we've met Rosemary before, that's driving.
She's a brilliant character as well.
She is, yeah. Tripping Mayor Tom is just an absolute nuisance and a menace. You can't keep him wrangled. He just keeps trying to go off and get involved in things.
Well, Patricia ends up putting him on a lead, I think, towards the end.
Just as she's always wanted, I think. the mayor's son he gets stopped by entering the boogeyman's house by the sheriff. It's quite good banter between Evan and the sheriff. It's basically, can I just do it, or what's he say? Can I shout "fuck you, pig" or something?
Pig, and he's like, no. But then he says a wee chuckle to himself. Like,
It does, yeah. There was a wee nod of I was young once there, I think. And we're gonna get Evan getting home, and his still tripping dad, Mayor Tom, still being pretty out of it. Are they just standing in the driveway?
yeah, well, Evan and his pals pull up in the car, and
Yes.
Tom starts looking like I've never seen anybody look inside a car like that before.
Yeah, he goes all the way around it.
One of his friends goes, "I think your dad's looking for you, dude."
It's pretty cool. He's not going to be much use in terms of disciplining his son right now for having been out after curfew.
Poor Evan just always poor Evan, but Tom just seems to always ask his 100-year-old secretary to look after Evan. So no wonder he's forever getting in bother.
Yeah. So because he'd snuck away. He was supposed to be being looked after by the secretary, and he'd snuck away. We get another Tom flashback. I think this one's his wife's pregnancy, and then going to the hospital and all of the issues that we've mentioned that ended up taking her life.
Did it? Tell me if I'm remembering this right. It seemed like Tom had orchestrated it so that Evan would be born off the island.
Yes.
And something happened that meant they had to go back to the island, as she was in labour.
So at a point, they were definitely on the ferry, getting off the island, and then they had to turn back for whatever reason.
She lose her eyesight, I think she'll.
Yeah. So she was already having, I think, pretty severe medical problems at that moment. So they've had to turn back, and he's been born on the island, which obviously Tom did not want. So I suppose, because that'll be what has kept Tom on the island, because he can't leave because his son's there.
Yes.
We get I don't know what I mean in my notes here. I've got, she seemed to be alive, but she's not there. That's still in reference to the wife.
She didn't die.
Right.
He seemed to be talking about it in terms of she died in child. He said that she died in childbirth to Marissa, but she didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
But she's catatonic. I think we're showing her catatonic.
Right.
I wonder if she is alive.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Okay. Now, my notes are getting a bit. My notes now read like what's happening on screen. These should just be accompanying, they're rather than they're trying to explain what's happened on screen. Because this one just says Mayor Tom praying, asking for help. What the fuck is that? Something's there. Oh, we don't see it. Okay.
Yeah, it gets a really deep voice speaking to him.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Like a demon type thing in the dark.
Which takes us to the end of episode 5 and the halfway point in this fantastic series.
Nice.
Yeah. Really, really entertaining. And there's not that many things that grab me pretty much instantly. This did. I was all in right from about 5 minutes in.
Nice. I like that. I think, like I said earlier, I think that I had in my head that they were going to stretch out the reporter from the New York Times, and whilst that might have been interesting, I did find it really funny, him sort of flapping about. If he was going to do that all season, he would have been out on his feet. So there's a lot of mystery.
Yeah.
Obviously, that character of Wick is amazing.
Yeah.
The two sort of main characters, Mayor Tom and Patricia, are just amazing. They're so interesting, and that episode with her with the cocktail party is just do you know what it reminded me of? And not in terms of content and that, but do you know the first season of The Last of Us?
Oh yeah.
Where you had it was sort of its own little episode with the couple.
Yes.
And it went over quite a long period of time. That, which was like a really, really hard-hitting, brilliant episode. It sort of reminded me of that in itself. It's just this own isolated thing that was just perfect with this absurdist, dark humour and horror.
Because if we think, hotel and we think cocktail party, we think drugged, pretty much every episode has its own thing going on here. And you're dragged fully into the episode, but there's this overarching stuff that's going on as well. So it's really good, really good.
100%. Have you seen Matthew Rhys in much? I feel like he's recognisable, but I just can't really think of.
I couldn't name you anything that I think I've seen him in. I've no doubt I had. I do remember when he first popped up, kind of thinking, "Oh, it's that guy," but I didn't look any further than that.
Yeah, and same with her that plays Patricia. Her name's Kate O'Flynn. I don't recognise her. She seems like she would be in like a Fargo or something like that. She's so good.
Yeah.
I really want a Boogeyman episode. I hope we get one.
Yeah, hopefully. So, favourite moments?
That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really liked the way that you described it is exactly how it went with the sea hag basically sort of climbing up him, and he uses the recliner seat, and it's just she's kind of like wham, goes like flying over it. That's my favourite part, I think, but hard to pick. The cocktails episode is just perfect for me. I
think that whole sequence and all the little things you pointed out, like the reflections in the mirror, and right through to the moment that the tone of the policeman is not matching what we're seeing. I really liked that. I was a wee bit horrified when we actually saw, the dead birds and things like that. And I was like, what are you doing?
Do you know what's really good? Is that there's lots of layers to it. I was thinking about that when you were talking about something else there. Can't remember exactly what it was, but thinking about like that Marissa, where you think she is a sea hag and then she's not. And like when Patricia has to put the book in the fire, and it's not. It could be that it's holding on to her. It could be that she's holding on to it, and what's been described about her life and her self-esteem and confidence and the way that the other girls, like there's lots of layers, especially for someone with so much comedy. It's it's impressive actually.
I'm very enthusiastic for the next 5. I think because I ended up watching all those 5 in one day, and it was still like a week until we were going to record, I had to stop myself from just watching the next ones.
Well, I don't know if, because they're all up now, I don't know if they came on weekly. I think it'd be quite a hard thing to watch weekly, because you do want the next one.
I am glad it's all there.
I think I've got no, I don't. I was going to say I think I've got the names of the next episodes, but I probably wouldn't want to know anyway.
Nah.
I know that I was having a look at who's directed episodes and all that sort of stuff. The guy that's directed the first 3 of the first 5, and he's done a lot in the second part as well. He was more known for directing music videos.
Okay.
But I know that the person that directs the next episode we're going to get is Ty West, who...
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah. I've seen a few of his films.
Yeah. So that gives us something to look forward to. I really want a Boogeyman episode.
Yeah. So, anything you want to highlight on what we've watched? Anything else you want to...
We've not really spoke about the sheriff, and he does only come in every now and again, and he is a bit of a, like, how the fuck did I get myself into this situation type, but he also brings a sort of realistic, there's all this mayhem going on, and he's just a bit like fucking stop that, whatever this is. And I like that about him. And you mentioned Stephen Root that plays Wick, and I'd realised today, and I said to you, that's Milton from Office Space.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they just got the perfect guy to play him.
Yeah, it is. It's perfect. Yeah.
And I like that he's won Tom over within, because that could get old quick.
Yeah.
It's been paced pretty perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So, you've been away. Have you had the chance to watch much else?
Yes, I watched 2 films. I watched one before I went, and I watched a movie on the plane on the way home, which was, I don't know why. So the film I picked on the way home was called My Son, and it had James McAvoy in it. Claire Foley.
I may have seen this.
So it was an Amazon thing, and his 7-year-old kid went missing from a camp.
Yeah.
It was all right. It reminded me a bit of that one. God, memory's terrible. The one with the 2 sort of young, sort of 20s, age 20, sort of mid-20s guys. They go on a hunting trip, and one of them, what's it called again? One of them shoots. They're going to shoot the deer, but
Jack Loudon's one of the guys, isn't he?
Yeah. And the guy from
I've seen this and I can't remember his name.
It reminded me of that a wee bit. That was all right. And I also watched Backrooms. I saw Backrooms as well before I went away, which feels like my kind of film. There's so much lore to go away down. So I did a lot of reading about Backrooms. Nice. I think you would like that. I think you would like that a lot.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, there's been a lot. So I had time off, but I wasn't away anywhere apart from for basically one day. So
you were going to watch Hokum.
Yeah. Well, I'll go through these in the order that I did them. So I met up with my pal. We had some beers and watched some films, and we decided to do the Cornetto trilogy. So we watched Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. And that was good fun. Good films to watch with beers.
What was World's End like after a bit of time?
So I think this is now, I think it's the 3rd time I've seen it. I think the first time was the time I liked it least. I think I've enjoyed it more as time's gone, but I still don't think it's a patch on the first 2.
Right. A Hot Fuzz, obviously Shaun of the Dead's great, but a Hot Fuzz is brilliant.
It's such a good film, so well done. I then watched Obsession. Oh, I really, have you seen it?
No.
Okay, I really enjoyed it.
How horror-y is it?
Quite. It's more uncomfortable than visual, scares. It's more, it'll make you think a wee bit.
Great.
I would recommend that.
You enjoyed it?
Yep.
Is it good, sort of worth the hype that it's getting?
Yeah, I mean, I deliberately avoided a lot of the chat about it, but I know it is being highly talked of, and I did really enjoy it.
Amazing.
I then watched Ready or Not 2.
Oh, nice.
Which it's just a continuation really of the first one. If you enjoyed the first one, it's kind of more of the same.
Okay.
So it's good fun. I then watched Hokum, which I really enjoyed.
Really?
Yeah.
Scary?
At times, in a few moments, but very psychological, and you can probably take a lot of it the way you want to take it, which I liked.
Nice.
Adam Scott's really good in it. Really
nice.
Good. Yeah.
I think he's probably quite an underrated actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't think I've ever seen him being quite like this before, which you'll understand if you watch it.
Okay. Oh, brilliant.
And the last one I watched, I'm not sure the exact way you pronounce this. Begonia?
Oh, yes. Which one's that again? With Malkovich?
With what's his name? What's her name? Emma Stone.
Oh, sorry, I'm confusing it with someone else. Yeah, Jesse Plemons.
Yes, Jesse Plemons is the name I was trying to remember. That wow.
Had you never seen that before? I think I had it in my head
No.
that you'd seen it before.
No, I think you had said to me that you'd enjoyed it, and that it made you think a bit. And I was like thinking, I'd give this a watch. And it was right at the end of my holiday, and you're a bit like, I'm gonna have to go back to work in a couple of days, and then I'll put this on. And I had no real expectation, so I put it on, and it's quite something.
Did you enjoy it? Aye.
I did, yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
It's I think I would have said, if I could describe it, it would be that it was like a Black Mirror feature.
Yeah.
Film.
Yeah.
She's great. She's really good in it. I think she maybe got nominated for an Oscar for it.
She always gets nominated.
Aye.
Yeah, I thought they were all really good. I'm not sure who the cousin of Jesse Plemons was in it, but he was good as well. They were all good. I think Jesse Plemons is always good as well.
Aye, same.
Yeah.
So that's a real sort of mind bender, that one, as far as what do they call it? You know, like when you've got an unreliable narrator almost situation going on.
Yeah. So that's quite a few films I went through. I was trying to squeeze them in between World Cup games, but then when it got to the stage of like one World Cup game a day, it's like,
off.
I've got all the time in the world now.
That's a good effort.
Yeah,
I like that. The film I was thinking of there, that I said Joe Malkovich, I think I watched Begonia and Opus, this film, at the same time.
Okay.
Have you heard of this? It's the actress in it is one of the actresses. She's in The Bear, Ayo Edebiri. She is a journalist, and she goes to like a compound about this secretive musician is releasing his final album, and she gets invited to go to it. Oh, I recommend you watch that. It's very fucking weird.
It's actually been on my list for ages.
Oh, has it?
I've never watched it. Yeah.
I'd recommend you watch that if you get the chance.
I will get to that. Yeah.
It's quite good fun. I've never seen John Malkovich like that before.
Okay.
So
interesting. Yeah. So I got through quite a few, but back to work. So all that fun had to end.
And we're getting to the business end of the World Cup as well. So
there's only 4 games left, and one of them, nobody really cares about one of them.
True. The final. If you hold off watching the final, it never ends. That's always been my sort of working theory, because we watched all the seasons of Sons of Anarchy. I've never seen the final episode.
Have you not? Oh, wow.
A little bit weird.
It's maybe time to let that one go.
Maybe. Yeah. I guess we should probably say R.I.P. to God, I want to say Sam Neill. Sam Neill. I was going to say his character's name from Jurassic Park there.
Yeah.
I was having a look at his IMDb today. He's been in quite a fair few horrors.
Has he?
Some that I'd quite like to see, so I was just going to bring it up there. He was in the Mind of... Is it In the Mind of Madness? It's a John Carpenter.
Okay.
Oh, his IMDb's bloody massive. Can I go back too far?
Oh, he's been in loads.
In the Mouth of Madness.
Okay. There's that. Like, he was obviously still actively working until pretty recently.
Really?
Yeah, he's got loads of quite recent things.
He was an absolute bastard in the early seasons of Peaky Blinders as well. He was excellent.
Yeah. What a hero in Jurassic Park, though.
Yeah, Dr. Grant. I think he was maybe in later ones as well. I don't think I've seen a lot of them, to be fair.
I haven't either, but I'm pretty sure you're right that he was in some later ones. Oh, what a shame.
And Bicentennial Man as well.
Oh, Dead Cam. Have you ever seen Dead Cam?
Yes. Does that have like a puppet on the front cover?
No.
I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah, it's
Event Horizon he was in as well. Sorry.
The cover for Dead Cam is you see like half of Nicole Kidman's face, the other half's underwater in there at sea. It was Billy Zane as well with those two. But I remember it being a good film or a very entertaining film, but I've not seen it for many, many years.
Is this your way of sort of shoehorning a Billy Zane season?
Respectfully to Billy Zane, no.
Is he a listener?
If he is, we will do a season. If he contacts us to say, I am a listener, I'm one of your 12 listeners, then we will do a season watching Dead Cam and Zoolander.
Excellent. Oh, is Billy Zane like Zoolander? Is that what we're saying Billy Zane's main films are?
I went blank. I'm sorry, Billy Zane.
Oh, is Billy Zane the sort of bad guy that appears out in the middle of nowhere sort of thing? Yeah. I see. Excellent.
I must be able to find something else that Zoolander 2? I can't just go Zoolander and Zoolander 2.
Possession is another horror film. Sorry, that Sam Neill.
Okay. An
old one. Aye, that's a shame.
So, what was that? Sorry, I'm caught up looking through Billy Zane's IMDb. Yeah, I've stopped.
I think if we do the Billy Zane season, we probably have to do a Luke Goss season as well. He's, or at least one of the Goss brothers took up acting.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but those people seem like they're linked.
They're intertwined.
Aye.
I mean, the only thing I would argue with that is if Billy Zane's a listener, which is the only reason we're giving him a season, if then Luke Goss isn't, is he just getting a season for being a bit Billy Zane-esque?
I mean, he probably influenced us both as we were youngsters, because Bros were probably as big as the Beatles.
Wait, yeah, that's a way of looking at it.
That is.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to the other Goss.
Yeah.
Unless they weren't actually Bros. Where are we going here?
I think that the thing this episode has taught me the most is I don't know enough about Bros.
Right, okay. Well, a Bros deep dive is required. Did Bros sing The Right Stuff, or was that New Kids on the Block?
I think The Right Stuff was New Kids on the Block. What did Bros
brings us
do?
To Donnie Wahlberg, who was in Saw 2.
It was, yeah. And many seasons of Blue Bloods. Don't know if you ever saw that.
I was going to say that's no horror, but unfortunately I have seen bits and pieces of that as I've walked into living rooms, and yeah.
I mean, it's Tom Selleck, so it's fine.
Tom Selleck would be good in a horror film.
Yeah. Why am I now looking up Bros? No, that we've gone way off track here.
What did Bros sing?
There must have had a hit. There must be a reason that we've all heard of
that
them.
We know who they are. I just remember jeans, white. We don't need to be talking about Bros. Anyway, I think we've been spiked with Patricia's punch.
Yeah.
That can be the only explanation for this chat.
Yeah.
That's an impressive amount of films you've done there, though, and a lot of new ones as well.
Yeah, I think they all kind of landed at quite a good time for me. I think you'll probably remember back in the old days when, I was just living on my own. I used to do like a sort of a wee mini film festival to myself whenever I took leave. I'd purposefully map out a few films that I wanted to watch, some classics and some new. And it wasn't quite to that extent. I mean, 3 of the films were watched over the course of about 8 hours on the beers. But the other 4, I took a bit of time, enjoyed them, sort of one a day. And I thought Obsession and Hokum being sort of released similar kind of times, I thought there's my chance. A couple of good, well, potentially good, new, highly thought of horrors coming out at roughly the same time. It seemed like an opportunity to do this.
Nice. Those 2 and Lee Cronin's The Mummy are probably on high on my list of things I'd quite like to see in the not too distant future.
Nice.
Do you think? That was probably giving stuff away. Never mind. I would recommend if the Backrooms comes, or Backrooms, whatever, comes to video on demand or whatever. I think you would like that.
Cool. Yeah, I will definitely look out for that.
Where do you here's a wee question for you regards Widow's Bay. Do you have any predictions about where we're going, or hopes, or?
I think I do hope we get the Boogeyman episode, like you referenced. I wonder if we're gonna, and I don't want this, but I think there's probably a logical story to play out here. I wonder if at some point we're going to see the end of Wick. I wonder if one of the things he talks so much about is going to end up, or potentially making a save for somebody else, is going to end up being the end of Wick. I think there's surely, although I believe there'll be more of this, regardless of characters, I think we've only scratched the surface of Patricia. There's surely a lot more for us to look at with Patricia here.
Brilliant.
And yeah, because we can't just be done. I wonder if there could be a return of the Boogeyman, if the Boogeyman does feature again.
Oh wow! I hadn't even considered that. Love that. I wonder if we might get Evan either maybe in an episode 9 or 10, maybe episode 9, Evan either successfully leaves the island or tries to leave the island.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're talking about Lost, and that triggers something pretty big.
That would make sense, because they've put him out there as the rebellious one, and it would make sense if he becomes the reason things escalate.
Yeah. And we're going to have to find out more about his wife. We need to find out more about that restrain chair down in the cellar.
Yeah.
And this voice, the fog. Yeah, there's a lot to come.
Yeah.
I think it's going to, and obviously it sounds all very serious, but there's going to be a lot of humour.
Oh yeah,
as well with it. So
yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the next 5. Cool.
Well, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it next time. I thought we'd just have a wee short chat, but that's been a nice run through.
Yeah,
that was excellent. Cool. Oh well, I hope you enjoy the back 5 as much as you've enjoyed the first ones.
Yeah, you too.
And we'll be back in a couple of weeks to discuss them.
Excellent.
Till then, keep on smiling in the dark.
Cheers.